And when you come to a place like Singapore, rooted as it is as one of the major hubs of Asia, then you see the world in a different way. From here you see a world that has not been knocked by a global recession. It is as if a recession has never been. China has continued its relentless and remorseless growth, along with India and much of the region, including Singapore. This region is a powerhouse for the whole world. This is the region that is providing the wealth that potentially could buy up a whole load of the Eurozone problems and transform the financing of the euro for the next 5 to 10 years. This is the part of the world that has the greatest population. China and India alone represent over a third of all human beings alive today, a formidable economic, moral and political as well as social force, which needs to be seen in the wider frame of the decay and decline of the West as a result of aging populations, aging technologies, aging infrastructure and aging cultural mindsets. Now, of course, there are differences between these great nations such as India and China, not least of all in the populations of young people. China, a relatively old population, and India bursting at the seams with young talent. But on this global stage, the great theatre of history will be played. This is the stage which will see the ascendancy of China to the point where it has overtaken the size of the US economy by a huge margin and is able to stare America in the face and say it doesn't need American markets anymore. This is a region where we have 1 in 6 of the world's population coming from India or living in India. Indians doing business with Indians in every town, country and city that is worth trading in on the whole surface of this globe. Chinese, likewise, are extraordinarily well placed in almost every town and city. And some of the greatest innovations and business enterprises are being driven by expatriate Chinese and Indians who, from their own bases in places like America, are now returning home or bringing wealth home or bringing trading contacts back home into their own historic communities where they are able to construct powerhouses for the future. This is a time of equalization. It's a time when developed nations are struggling to grow at 1, 2 or 3%. And developing countries are growing at over twice, sometimes 3 times that speed. This is a season of redistribution of wealth, of sovereign wealth, taxation wealth, of capital assets, as China, for example, seeks to use some of its mountain of dollars in more constructive ways than simply buying government debt off the federal bank, but instead using it to buy stuff, real assets, property, factories, whole multinational companies, infrastructure, ports, airports and the rest. Watch out for further steps in political realignment across this region, which provides a much more powerful voice in all kinds of global discussions on things like global warming, alternative energy and so on.